Hello everyone! In this video, I'm gonna show you how we are manufacturing the conveyor rulers in our factory. First, we begin with the tube cutting. We have a tube magazine wherein the tube will be fed automatically to the cutting machine. We have the human-machine interface where we input all the required parameters according to the order of our customer. So this is our cutting machine. It has 4 cutting holders with the cutting inserts. So it rotates continuously until the tube is cut completely. The pick and place unit will take the cut part of the tube and it will be transported to the conveyor where it will be shifted to the boring machine through another pick and place robot. So this is how the operation is being done. As you can see, this cut piece of tube will be taken by the pick and place robot, and this will proceed to the next process. We also have a semi-automatic process of cutting the tube if the tube is not a standard diameter where there is no change parts available. We used to cut the tube through our bandsaw. This bandsaw machine has a saw-like blade which continuously rotates and gradually goes down to slowly cut the tube until it is completely cut or separated from the whole unit of the tube. This tube is manually fed by a certain person at the back of the machine, and after pushing the tube, another operator will measure the length in front of the machine before the machine will be switched on again to start another cutting operation. As you can see, the tube is now pushed forward, and before starting again the cutting operation, the length has to be verified by operator. After the verification, the machine will be again resume the cutting operation. And while the blade is rotating, there is a coolant that is being applied on it so that the creation of heat will be prevented, and to preserve the quality or to increase the lifespan of the blade. Here is now the finished cut piece of the tube. These tubes will then be shifted to the boring machine or to the lathe machine where it will be processed to have its boring. This boring process will be done so that the bearing house will be fitted inside of the tube. Here is the operating panel of the bandsaw. It's just a conventional type. There are lots of push buttons according to the required operation. We will now proceed to the boring machine. The pick and place robot will take the cut piece from the cutting machine and it will be loaded to the boring machine. After the boring, another pick and place robot will take the workpiece and will be shifted to the conveyor where this tube will be assembled together with the bearing house. We have this bearing house assembly machine. As you can see, the bearing house will be inserted to the tube fully, and then after the assembly, it will be shifted to the bearing house welding machine. Here, the ruler will be fed one by one, and there is a centering device so that it will be fed perfectly to the welding machine. Here, we apply the automatic welding, and after the welding, it will be ejected automatically and will proceed to the next process, which is the shaft assembly together with the bearing on both sides. We also have a manual process of boring using the lathe machine. Usually this is done if the tube is not the standard diameter. So we used to do the manual boring. It has to be done by a certified and competent person to prevent any injuries or accident while doing the operation of the lathe machine. After the boring is done in the lathe machine, it will then be loaded again to the welding machine, which we have shown in the previous video. So here is now the welded ruler or tube together with the bearing house. These tubes are now ready for the assembly with the shaft together with the bearing, the seals, and the dust cap. Here is now the finished product, and it's already packed. Here are also the rulers which were just painted and were on the process of drying up. This finished product will then be packed and will be ready for dispatch. But before that, we need to check the quality, whether it is rotating properly. So these are now the finished product, and it's already packed and ready to be dispatched to our customers. These are also the finished product where still need to be wrapped with plastic.